Hello, friends, family, and fan. Welcome back to Cort Freeman Live-ish. We are live currently on Twitch, twitch.tv/Cort Freeman, and then it will be available everywhere else, not live, later on. Have to begin by apologizing for the little hiatus. I know it's been a while. A lot happening. I went out of town, and then a lot of just mental roughness the past couple of weeks as well. Pandemic fatigue really hitting hard. I think through July, I was probably pretty good with everything, mentally holding up, because I expected that when it first hit, back in March. I remember, expecting this upon initial reaction to last until July. And then once it started going past then and no end in sight, it really started weighing on me, not going out and doing things. I've been taking this pandemic very serious. I know we've talked about it. My brother had a baby, seeing my grandparents. There's a lot of reasons right now why I'm not going out. And even as stuff begins to open, why I'm still taking it very easy. And it sucks sometimes to go on Instagram and see a lot of people still living like a normal summer. So it's a bummer. I think it did start to weigh on me mentally, but feeling better. And, and as all that's happening, Jacob Blake happens. The Kyle Rittenhouse kills a protester, and more of the same that, took 2 weeks off, but it's still the same out there. Nothing's changed. And I could spend time talking on that, but the last time we spoke here on the podcast, I had promised a fun episode, something different than politics and all of that, and I wanted to talk about my least favorite episodes from my favorite shows. So we are going to do that today. I just had to address that it's been rough, and I know I'm not the only one. I know all of us, it sucks currently. So I apologize for taking 2 weeks off. I know I said I'd be back tomorrow, but now we are back, and I'm glad to be back. Had to change rooms in the studio, and this one much hotter, I'll say. I'm sweating bullets again, but it's nice to have everything back, and I'm excited to talk. I will say something fun with you guys, but even though I'm still calling it fun, it's funny that it's still something incredibly negative in my least favorite episodes of my favorite shows. But to me, that's something fun, and I think we can have some fun talking about it. The shows I'm going to talk about are The Office, Seinfeld, South Park, Family Guy, and That 70s Show. Those aren't the only shows I like, but those are the ones where I'm confident talking about my least favorite episodes. And then next week we'll follow it up with my favorite episodes of these same shows. So you can play along at home too and let me know what your least favorite episodes are of these shows as well, because I feel pretty strongly about these, especially first off, The Office. For my least favorite episode, I had to go with season 6, episode 14, The Banker. This episode is pretty much a bunch of flashbacks, pretty much a best of show, just doing highlights, and it drives me crazy. It doesn't bring anything good. If anything, it's kind of just emotional. It's like the calm before the storm of Michael leaving and all of that. So once I get to that point, I kind of know here comes the sadder episodes. And that's the only episode of The Office that I skip every time. And I watch The Office a lot. I finish and I restart immediately. And that's the one episode I can't do it. I don't like it. Kind of just kills the vibe for me. And I always think best of episodes, they're lame. They don't do anything for me. Maybe when they're airing live to give an episode like that kind of makes sense. But when you're binging on Netflix and stuff, it doesn't make any sense to have that. I just watched all of these episodes you're highlighting 30 minutes ago. And during this sitting, there's no point. So for me, that's my least favorite. And speaking of best of and highlight episodes, when people talk about their least favorite episode of Seinfeld, most people are going to say the finale. It's famous for having a finale that a lot of people didn't like. I'm not one of them. I actually really liked the finale of Seinfeld. I thought they used the best of thing and all of that very well, bringing back old characters that you might have only seen one episode, but characters who had a big impact. I think it's hilarious how they did that. And I love how Larry did the same thing in Curb with, it wasn't the finale, but during like season 9, I believe, he brought back a bunch of characters from the past during the fatwa that talked about Larry and opened up to the guy examining and investigating Larry for the fatwa. I thought that was fantastic. My least favorite episode of Seinfeld, though, does come season 9, a couple episodes before the finale. Season 9, episode 20, The Puerto Rican Day. Not funny. I think that's one of the episodes where I didn't laugh once. There's also like stuff that could be offensive. You know, you watch it and you kind of cringe and you wonder, is that offensive? I think that seems pretty offensive to Puerto Rican people. Not my favorite episode. I didn't think it was that funny. So I give a pass for the finale. I'm a big fan of the finale. Puerto Rican Day? Nah, not that one. Pass. That brings us to South Park. This one was an easy one. I'm a huge fan of South Park. There's not a lot of episodes that I don't like, but this one stands alone. Season 3, episode 4, Jackoffosaurus. You can tell by the name, Jackoffosaurus, that kind of lame. The dinosaur alien thing, the Jackoffosaurus, is incredibly annoying. Even for, I think that's its intention, is to be an annoying creature. But even as a viewer, I can't stand to watch this episode. It's too much. It's annoying. I even sitting here talking about it, I cringe. I don't want to even talk about this episode because of how annoying that Jackoffosaurus is. It's bad. Like, if you watched that, and that was like your first time watching South Park, you'd probably never come back. And I'd understand it. That episode is that bad for me. And it's that same kind of mindset, the annoying thing, that comes into play with my least favorite episode of Family Guy, which is season 12, episode 2, Vestigial Peter. It's the one where Peter finds he has like a twin growing on his neck, a little neck twin. That little neck twin, whose name was Chip, was so annoying to me, I couldn't stand to watch the episode. It's another one that I will skip when I stream, and I very rarely skip Family Guy episodes. They're always funny. You know, they stand alone. They're very easy to watch. They're always funny, except for this one. Chip gets on my nerves so bad, I find myself rooting against him. It's not often that you watch a TV show and hope that a character doesn't make it. I was rooting against Chip. That was bad. And I love Family Guy. But, Chip went too far for me. Annoying. And lastly, we come to That 70s Show. Another show I grew up loving. This is near and dear to my heart. Easy to talk about favorite episodes. I could talk about that all day. But to find a least favorite episode, you have to look to season 4, episode 24, That 70s Musical. Oh, that's a for sure skip. Don't skip many. I'm skipping the musical. And was it me, or is that episode longer than all of the other ones? I feel like it doesn't end. I can't stand it. None of them are singers. I don't know what they're doing. Like, a normal episode would have been very funny. Or have a musical part of it. Just part. There was way too much going on. Didn't like it at all. So those are my least favorite episodes of my favorite shows. Let me know on Twitter or on YouTube. Comment. On Twitter, it's @Cort Freeman. Let me know what your least favorite episodes are of these shows, or if I have it wrong, or if you actually loved Jackoffosaurus. You can let me know. I won't be offended. I won't agree with you, but you can let me know, and I'll be happy to talk about it. Tomorrow, yes, we will be back tomorrow. I mean it this time. To talk about my favorite episodes of my favorite shows. Again, if you tuned in late on Twitch, you can find this on YouTube later, youtube.com/Cort Freeman. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for hanging out. keep your head up. I know we all could use a little extra positivity somehow. I fell victim to the negativity recently, but you got to bounce back up and find something you like. Unfortunately, these episodes I talked about aren't what I'm talking about. These won't make you feel better. These will get your blood boiling. But tomorrow's conversation, that's going to be one to note. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you hanging out.